Gun prices are doing something they haven't done in over a decade, and most gun owners are completely ignoring it. While everyone argues about what's coming next, the firearms that cost a fortune 2 years ago are sitting on shelves at prices that make 0 cents. This isn't a sale. It's a market reset. I found 10 guns that smart buyers are quietly grabbing before the window slams shut, and number 1 is the deal nobody saw coming. This video is for educational purposes only and does not promote harm or unsafe use of firearms. Number 10. Mossberg Maverick 88. The Maverick 88 is one of those shotguns that keeps surviving every trend cycle in the firearms world because it understands something expensive tactical builds often forget. Simplicity still matters. Right now, while gun prices are sliding across the market, smart buyers are quietly grabbing these because the value has become almost ridiculous. The moment you rack the action, the shotgun gives off that raw mechanical feel pump gun fans love. It's not polished like a custom defensive shotgun, but it feels honest, rugged, and built to work. Out at the range, the lightweight frame produces noticeable recoil with full-power buckshot, but the balance keeps the gun controllable enough for fast follow-up shots once you settle into the rhythm. And that's really the appeal here. The Maverick 88 doesn't try to be futuristic or overly tactical. It's a straightforward 12-gauge that people trust for home defense, truck duty, ranch use, and emergency backup roles because it continues functioning with very little drama. As modern firearms become increasingly packed with optic systems, modular upgrades, and premium pricing, this shotgun almost feels refreshing. You load it, run it hard, and it delivers exactly what you expect. That's why experienced buyers keep circling back whenever prices dip. Because deep down, most shooters know a dependable pump shotgun never really goes out of style. Number 9. Ruger PC Carbine. The Ruger PC Carbine suddenly makes a lot more sense in today's market than it did a few years ago. Back when pistol-caliber carbines exploded in popularity, prices climbed so aggressively that many shooters started questioning whether these guns were worth the investment. But now that the market has cooled off, smart buyers are realizing this platform offers one of the easiest and most enjoyable shooting experiences available today. The first thing you notice behind the trigger is how calm the rifle feels during rapid fire. Recoil is soft, muzzle movement stays minimal, and transitions between targets feel smooth enough that even newer shooters start landing accurate hits quickly. It almost feels unfair on steel. The takedown design also gives the rifle a practical edge many PCCs lack, especially for storage or transport, while Glock magazine compatibility instantly makes the system more appealing for concealed carry owners already invested in 9mm platforms. That shared magazine setup matters more than ever because buyers today want efficiency, not random disconnected firearms. And unlike many cheaper carbines entering the market, the Ruger actually feels mature in its engineering. The controls are intuitive, the balance sits naturally against the shoulder, and the gun rewards fast shooting without becoming chaotic. As prices continue collapsing across several firearm categories, the PC Carbine has quietly become one of the smartest, low-recoil tactical buys available right now. Number 8. Canik TP9 Elite SC. The TP9 Elite SC is one of the clearest examples of how the handgun market changed completely over the last few years. There was a time when many shooters viewed Canik as a budget alternative, but that reputation started disappearing the moment people actually spent serious range time behind these pistols. Now, with prices dropping even further, the Elite SC feels less like a compromise and more like a hidden value concealed carry weapon. What immediately separates this pistol from many compact handguns is the trigger. It has a crisp break, an extremely short reset, and a level of responsiveness that genuinely surprises shooters expecting an entry-level experience. During rapid-fire drills, the gun tracks flatter than many pistols in its price category, partly because the slightly thicker frame helps absorb recoil better than ultra-thin carry guns. That matters because a carry pistol people enjoy shooting is usually the one they train with consistently. The optics-ready slide also gives the Elite SC modern relevance in a red dot-dominated carry market, while the aggressive grip texture keeps the pistol planted during fast strings of fire. But what really makes this gun stand out is its personality. It doesn't feel generic. The slide serrations, the ergonomics, the shooting rhythm, everything feels intentionally tuned toward practical performance. And now that prices are falling hard across the industry, buyers looking for a capable EDC pistol without spending premium money are paying attention to Canik again in a very serious way. Number 7. Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus. The Shield Plus succeeds because it understands the actual purpose of concealed carry better than many larger, overbuilt handguns competing in the same category. While some manufacturers chase oversized optics-ready designs that become uncomfortable to carry daily, Smith & Wesson focused on balance. The result is a pistol that disappears inside the waistband while still giving shooters respectable capacity and surprisingly solid control during live fire. The slim profile makes all-day carry realistic, especially for people who spend long hours moving, driving, or sitting. But unlike older single-stack carry pistols, the Shield Plus doesn't feel underpowered or outdated. The improved trigger gives the gun a much cleaner shooting experience than earlier Shield models, and the grip texture helps anchor the pistol during recoil without becoming abrasive against clothing or skin. At the range, the recoil impulse has a sharp snap, exactly what you'd expect from a lightweight micro-compact, but the muzzle returns to target quickly enough that controlled pairs stay manageable with practice. That's why so many experienced concealed carriers respect this platform. It feels optimized for real-world use instead of social media hype. And now that prices are becoming increasingly competitive, the Shield Plus is attracting both first-time gun buyers and long-time EDC users looking for a dependable carry option without overspending. In a market overloaded with flashy compact pistols, the Shield Plus wins by simply doing its job extremely well. Number 6. PSA AR-15. The AR-15 market became overcrowded fast, and that oversupply created one of the biggest buying opportunities rifle shooters have seen in years. Palmetto State Armory recognized the shift early, which is why PSA rifles are suddenly dominating conversations again. These aren't luxury rifles built for collectors chasing exotic setups. They're practical, optics-ready carbines that give shooters a functional entry into the tactical rifle world without crushing their wallet. What surprises many people is how much PSA improved over time. Older budget ARs sometimes felt rough around the edges, but newer builds feel significantly more refined than critics expect. The recoil impulse stays smooth and manageable, especially when paired with quality ammunition and a decent optics setup, and the rifle tracks naturally during rapid transitions between targets. That's important because modern buyers want rifles they can actually train with, not just display online. PSA also leaned heavily into features shooters care about: Mellock handguards, flat-top receivers, upgraded furniture, and modular customization options that let owners evolve the platform over time. And right now, with firearm prices collapsing across the rifle market, complete AR builds are appearing at numbers that would have sounded unrealistic not long ago. Even experienced shooters are buying them as backup carbines, training rifles, or truck guns because the value proposition became impossible to ignore. PSA understood exactly where the market was heading, and now smart buyers are taking advantage before pricing stabilizes again. Number 5. CZ P10C. The CZ P10C feels like it was engineered by people who actually spend serious time shooting handguns instead of simply studying market trends. From the second the pistol settles into your hand, the ergonomics immediately stand out. The grip angle feels natural, the beaver tail allows a high purchase, and the undercut positioning helps the gun sit lower in the hand for noticeably flatter shooting characteristics. Then you start pressing the trigger, and the pistol reveals why experienced shooters continue praising it years after release. The break feels sharp and mechanical in a very satisfying way, giving the gun an incredibly connected shooting experience during rapid fire. Combined with the low-bore axis, the recoil impulse stays controlled and predictable, allowing fast sight recovery without forcing the shooter to wrestle the gun back onto target. That balance between concealability and shootability is difficult to achieve, yet the P10C manages it naturally. The texture also deserves credit because it locks into the hand during sweaty range sessions without becoming uncomfortable during concealed carry. And now, as prices continue dropping across the striker-fired handgun market, the value proposition has become borderline absurd. Many shooters are discovering they can buy one of the best-performing compact pistols available for prices competing with far more basic firearms. The P10C doesn't rely on flashy marketing. It wins people over the old-fashioned way by shooting exceptionally well. Number 4. SIG Sauer P320 M18. The SIG P320 M18 carries a completely different type of appeal than most compact handguns because it combines military credibility with one of the most modular handgun systems ever pushed into the mainstream market. That military connection naturally draws attention, but what keeps experienced shooters interested is how adaptable the platform feels once you actually start training with it. The M18 has a smooth recoil impulse that rolls rearward differently than many snappier striker-fired pistols, creating a shooting experience that feels controlled without becoming sluggish. During transitions and controlled pairs, the pistol stays balanced in the hand, and the optics-ready slide immediately gives it relevance in today's red dot-focused carry culture. But the real advantage sits inside the gun itself. The modular chassis system allows shooters to swap grip modules and configure the platform around different hand sizes or carry preferences, which gives the pistol a flexibility many competitors simply can't match. That adaptability becomes even more attractive now that market prices are softening. Not long ago, buyers paid a serious premium for a pistol carrying this level of military recognition and modular engineering. Today, people are finding deals that honestly surprise seasoned gun owners watching the market closely. And once you spend time shooting the M18, its popularity starts making sense quickly. The controls feel intuitive, reloads stay smooth, and the platform delivers a modern shooting experience without trying too hard to impress people visually. Number 3. Tisas 1911 Raider. The Tisas 1911 Raider entered the handgun market at exactly the right time because shooters had become exhausted with overpriced tactical 1911s carrying premium-level price tags. Then suddenly this pistol appeared and forced people to rethink what a modern rail-equipped 1911 could cost. What shocks most shooters first is the overall fit and feel. The slide-to-frame relationship feels tighter than expected, the controls have a satisfying mechanical confidence to them, and the gun immediately gives off a far more refined impression than many buyers anticipate from its price bracket. Then you hit the trigger and everything changes. The short take-up and crisp single-action break create that unmistakable 1911 shooting rhythm enthusiasts love, while the steel frame weight helps the recoil push straight backward with an incredibly smooth impulse. Unlike lightweight polymer pistols that can feel abrupt during rapid fire, the Raider settles naturally between shots and encourages precise shooting. The rail system also gives the pistol modern defensive relevance instead of feeling trapped in nostalgia. Weapon lights, tactical setups, and duty-style configurations suddenly become realistic without requiring custom shop money. And that's exactly why smart buyers are grabbing these while prices remain low. The Raider doesn't feel like a cheap imitation trying to mimic premium 1911s. It feels like a serious fighting pistol that entered the market at a price point nobody expected. In today's collapsing firearms market, that combination is getting attention fast. Number 2. Springfield Echelon 4.0 C Comp. The Springfield Echelon 4.0 C Comp feels like one of the clearest signs that the striker-fired handgun market is entering a completely different era. This pistol doesn't just rely on branding or aggressive styling to stand out. The performance shows up immediately once rounds start moving downrange. The integrated compensator changes the personality of the gun in a noticeable way, especially during rapid-fire drills where muzzle rise stays flatter and sight tracking becomes dramatically smoother than many standard compact pistols. Dot movement feels controlled instead of chaotic, which allows shooters to push speed harder without losing confidence in follow-up shots. But the compensator alone isn't the reason this pistol is attracting so much attention. Springfield clearly focused on ergonomics, optics integration, and modern carry practicality all at once. The grip texture locks into the hand securely, the contouring feels natural during presentation, and the optics system gives shooters impressive flexibility without awkward mounting compromises. Even the trigger feels carefully balanced, not overly light, not mushy, just predictable enough to maintain consistency during defensive drills and high-tempo shooting. What makes the Echelon especially interesting right now is the timing. Prices across the firearms market are softening just as this pistol is gaining serious momentum among enthusiasts and concealed carry users. That combination created a situation where buyers suddenly have access to a highly modern compensated carry gun at prices that honestly feel temporary. And experienced shooters know opportunities like that rarely last long. Number 1. Glock 19 Gen 5. The Glock 19 Gen 5 continues surviving every trend, every internet debate, and every Glock killer headline because at some point people stop arguing online and start looking at actual performance. Then the Glock 19 quietly wins again. Now that prices are dropping across the handgun market, experienced buyers are grabbing these aggressively because they understand how rare it is to find a platform this proven, sitting at discounted numbers. The Gen 5 balances compact concealability with full-size shooting confidence better than almost any handgun in its class. Large enough to control during extended range sessions, yet compact enough for realistic concealed carry, the pistol sits directly in that sweet spot many manufacturers still struggle to achieve. Out on the range, the recoil impulse feels neutral and predictable, which is one of the biggest reasons skilled shooters run these pistols so efficiently. The sights track naturally, reloads stay smooth, and the simplified controls allow shooters to focus entirely on shooting instead of managing complicated mechanics. But the real power of the Glock 19 goes beyond the pistol itself. It's the ecosystem surrounding it. Holsters, optics cuts, aftermarket triggers, magazines, spare parts, training compatibility. The support network around this handgun became almost unmatched over the years. That matters because buyers today aren't just purchasing a firearm, they're investing into a long-term platform. And when prices on a platform this mature suddenly collapse, smart firearm owners recognize the opportunity immediately. Otri 2. Gun prices don't stay low forever, and right now, smart buyers are taking advantage of one of the biggest market shifts we've seen in years. So which firearm from this list would you grab before prices climb back up? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe now because the next video gets even crazier.